Hello friends, this is Olga, mature medical student from Ukraine, and now I want to show you the winter, actually January, Ukrainian village near Kyiv. So we will have now a little walk, and I want to share with you some information, show you something about how simple Ukrainians live here near Kyiv. So let's go. This how usually look the simple street. Yeah, we have here a lot of dogs. People prefer to have dogs. So here it is. It is Ukrainian winter. It is -2, 6 o'clock at the evening. Whole day was pretty snowy. Snow felt all day long. We have a lot of pine trees near Kyiv, and actually it is the pine forest behind these birches. Probably it's too dark, you cannot see it, but I'm pretty sure it's quite safe to walk there even now. Probably snowy. Here you can see the simple streets, how it look like. It's pretty wide. Here how can look like some, more than yard of Ukrainian house. Few days ago was quite big frosts, around probably -10, probably -13 at night. It could be even more, but it's not usual. It's not every winter happens, but -10, -15 it could be. So it's not something like not usual for the January. It's like another house. Just want to give you understanding how Ukrainians live, how they treat their house, fence, what do they have. Probably now it's look like very empty just because no leaves on the trees, everything is look very poor. Here we have also the dog and metallic fence. Now it's kind of like a fashion, I don't know, or it's just because it's more convenient to make a metallic fence. People use it for roofs and also for a fence. Probably it was just different type of, the profile. So this material is cheap, kind of cheap. It closes the fence, and it's to make the fence of it is quite easy. And unlike in Europe, now people in Ukraine prefer the more higher fence. For example, here you see near the light, the fence, probably it's about 1 meter and 80 centimeters. Sometimes people do the higher, like 2 meters. Sometimes people may do less, but 1.5 meters, 1.60 meters, it's probably the lowest fence people usually do. People prefer to hide now their personal life. In the 20th century and before, the fences were lower. Probably it's because of the time of the 19th, when was a lot of crime, a lot of such a not pleasant thing, lack of laws, and people changed their habits. And the richer person is, the higher fence they build. That is how the winter forest in Kyiv region could look like. Pretty unscary. And we do not have here some kind of animals, like big animals, you know, like these wild boars, wolves or something. Probably foxes are the biggest predators here, like rabbits, hedgehogs, which are sleeping. So it's not scary to be outside in the, near Kyiv. The old big animals, they not coming closer to their people's houses. I think that Ukrainian conception from the centuries, it's not appeared now, but it's like traditional thing, is to have big house, large territories, a lot of space for garage, for different instruments, for gardening especially, what we really love. So people try to get as much land as possible and get the big house. And the things where when we see in Europe tiny houses, tiny gardens, when everything is fitted up to the centimeters, it's like not something we used to in Ukraine. Probably kind of conception of American, of United States, when people also try to have everything large is more usual for Ukrainians. At least we like understand this and accept. And after 2 years I had been to Italy. I understand why in Italy, for example, they do not have own houses or have small, because they have to pay taxes for this. The bigger house you have, the more taxes you pay. In Ukraine, we do not have it. We just have to pay taxes if your house is really large, more than the quarter of 1,000 of square meters. But if less, no taxes. And this is this way people don't used to count everything. And a thing that I so far love in Ukraine, this gray fence, it's just the panels, and people make it as a constructor. So to build this fence is really easy, and people just buy, for example, 3 of the panels, 2 just like or 3 just like a solid, and the top could be more fancy one, and build such kind of fences. And here, these 2 lines of snow near the main entrance in the house, it is the bench. Actually, it's very Ukrainian thing, and I think probably now it's disappearing from our culture, of building the streets, the houses and everything around. Because in 20th century, I remember there was near each house, near each main entrance, there was a bench. And usually this bench was for elder people. They do not work in the, do not do any or much of the housework, so they just may sit and spend the time near their house, watch the people passing by, communicate with them. Usually other neighbors also who have the elder people, they see each other and they may sit on the one bench and discuss something and eat some fried seeds. For example, here you cannot see any bench because it's more like a modern house, but yeah, here it is preserved. And also what I remember is very Ukrainian thing about the, like, in the relationships between neighbors, in the quarrels because of the border. I don't know if you have it in your countries, but it's even in the Ukrainian literature, the story called the Kaidasheva Simya. It's the family of Kaidash, actually, if we translate it. There was also described in this. When the neighbors, they try to take the, like, 20 centimeters, 10 centimeters, half of the meter of the someone else territory, someone else lands, and put the fence and, more far and enlarge their land, and take some lands from the neighbor. And these neighbors, they also, of course, measure their territory, and they usually find out that their yard becomes thinner, and this kind of things happens, and it even happens now. It's a thing that really I recommend who will buy some land in Ukraine. You have to be attentive, because I don't know why, but for Ukrainians, land is ground, soil, it's very all important. So they really want to, not all, but a lot of them try to take some more and more pieces of land. And sometimes it's kind of not nice, but yeah, such a thing may happens, yeah, in our country still. And now here you may see the more, I would say, simple house, less probably rich, less modern, but how it can look like in Ukraine. Probably now people try to build 2-floor houses, but this one is 1 floor and it's okay. I'm trying to find the more light here. Just a brief video to share with you January in Ukraine, to share with you the beautiful snowy weather. So thank you for watching. See you in the next time. Bye.